What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday, everyone. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, just break it down on what big money is doing today and everything else. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data, don't really have a whole lot today, nor do we have any Fed speakers. So it's going to be a relatively tame day. And you can tell that just generally so far as well from the overall volume. But one thing that could come out that could really shake the market is a Europe tariff deal. So potentially could be coming out today or first half of next week from what we've heard. So that could be a very big catalyst. But when it's coming out, most likely it'll probably be next week in my opinion. But aside from that though, it's going to be a relatively kind of quiet day in my opinion, of course. But looking at the futures, Dow is up 0.14, S&P 0.15, NASDAQ is flat. Again, you can even see the activity. You're not seeing any crazy spikes. And yeah, overall, based on the volume today so far during the pre-market, it's on the low end. So don't anticipate any crazy moves. But starting off with SoFi, it is up slightly. No news, no SEC filings. 11.7% of the free float is being shorted. So that's what we're going into today with. There was the NASDAQ report, so it did show over the last couple of weeks, shorts did return almost 22 million shares more than what we previously thought. So that's kind of a positive thing, I guess, in some cases. Right now, though, with it at 21.53, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 21.66 is going to be that key pivot, as I've kind of explained in my dedicated SoFi videos. So just watch for SoFi to hopefully break above that ideally. One thing to take note of though is the open interest. So I'll give you guys a quick overview of that. So with today being Friday, this of course is a big factor. So there's 16,000 at that 21.50. Ultimately, by close like second half of today, if for whatever reason SoFi is still lingering around this 21.50, you could see shorts wake up just to try to suppress it. So don't be surprised if that does happen. Aside from that though, as far as the support level, you have 2077. I don't really see that being touched in my opinion. So again, just keep that in mind. Moving on, Intel had some relatively bad earnings, laying off, I think it was 15% of their workforce. So not all that great. And essentially last earnings was supposed to be their revival. Now they're still kind of talking about it. Market's clearly done with their BS, so it is down quite a lot so far, but 3.01% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 130.85 million shares overall are being shorted. I guess essentially you could have looked at this as well as a good key indicator leading into the earnings. Shorts doubled down, so it went from 1.5% short interest to 3.01, so where we are now. So shorts really were doubling down, and for a large cap stock such as Intel, that's normally a very big red flag that they kind of anticipate a flop on their earnings. So I guess you could have analyzed this a little bit deeper. But aside from that, for today, with it at 2080, it is trading right now between this pivot and this S1. So 2019 is going to be a strong support on which I don't really see that being touched today. If for whatever reason it does hit that, then I feel like that would be a screaming opportunity to buy just for a quick day trade or swing trade depending on your kind of time horizon. But nonetheless, I don't really see that being touched. And then 2172 is going to be the next strong target / resistance, which given where it was kind of floating in the after hours yesterday and largely during the overnight, it is fair to assume that it most likely will run up to kind of that pivot point. Probably not enough to actually break above that, but at least where we are at, you could see a nice little swing trade. So just watch for both of those. Moving on, Opendoor is getting a lot of volume. So this, of course, in case you don't know, very big squeeze play. And on Monday does mark their 10th consecutive day above $1. So potentially they could be getting the green light from the NASDAQ. Bad timing though, because that's when their shareholder meeting is for a reverse stock split. So again, there's kind of tit for tat for that. As far as, the overall volume, definitely a lot of money getting into it today. 33.55% of the free float's being shorted though. So very, shorts have been insanely doubling down. 219.83 million shares overall are being shorted though. Right now during the pre-market with at 254, it is trading between right above this pivot point. So 252 is going to be a strong support. 362 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. And honestly, given this stock, anything is possible. Potentially even that $5 range. So it's we've seen a lot of crazy volatility with this. It all depends on how much capital gets in and in what short frequency. So yeah, I think this is going to be one to really watch for today as far as day trading and whatever else. But no matter what, do your own due diligence, because flip side, we saw it just drop like $1.50 like within a 15-minute span. So things can go south very, very fast. So just anticipate a lot of volatility. Of course, this is a momentum / squeeze play. So take all of these with a grain of salt, of course. But moving on, LIDAR, no news from them today. Rather, they're just piggybacking off the news that came out yesterday. It caused it to go up 158%. Very epic stuff. 12.6% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 2.25 million shares overall are being shorted. With it right now at 340, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 265 is going to be strong support. I don't see that being touched today. And then 432 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. Similarly, I don't really see that being touched. I'm looking at the 1 week chart on a side note, but nonetheless, just watch for kind of the whole numbers. Most likely, so 350, 375, and or whatever else. So if you're looking at kind of swing trading, day trading, just kind of keep that in mind. But nonetheless, a lot of big money is really getting into it today. And then moving on, this is a new IPO, so ticker is LHAI. No news from them, no SEC filings for today. Yesterday went up 40.75, up 84% so far this morning. And of course, as I've explained in the past, with these IPOs, it usually takes around a week for them to get fully ingrained in Ortex. So right now we don't really have any short information or anything. So similar to LiDAR, just watch for the whole numbers if you are looking at day trading or swing trading. But right now, this is the second most heavily traded stock during the pre-market. So a lot of big money is really getting in on this. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Is there any other stocks that's kind of floating your boat? If so, drop some tickers in the description below. One final thing, if you're looking for a lot of good people to kind of talk shop with, stocks, options, crypto, pop over to my Discord. It is completely free. Pop there, say hi, and what kind of stocks you're interested in. Spark the conversation. A lot of good people there as well. So with all that, hopefully everyone has a good day and a good weekend. And then, yeah, let's all make a lot of money on whatever floats your boat.